everyone. Hope everyone's doing good today. Hope you're keeping safe, keeping healthy. Hope you've found some cool coins since you started watching these videos. Or if this is your first video, you're in for a treat. Since we are in the month of Ramadan, I've decided to take a Islamic topic, and I'm going to help to define two theoretical terms which have come up a lot in Islamic studies and Islamic archaeology and obviously Islamic numismatics. I'm going to help define them, explain them, and show you some examples where I think they fall in quite nicely. So, these terms are Islamicate and Persianate. Islamicate and Persianate. What do they mean? So, both of them are from Marshall Hodgson. He was a historian and very important American scholar in Islamic studies. But he created these two terms in order to help bridge the divides that we had in the field. So, I'll give you an example of Islamicate. Because Islamicate is a term used to define an Islamic topic that doesn't necessarily involve Islam. So, for example, a region that maybe has Islamic influence, but is not necessarily Muslim. Example, Exhibit A. We have a lovely coin here, minted in Otrar in modern Kazakhstan. It is written in Arabic. Don't know how well you can see that, both sides. It's got the Shahada, and it references the Caliph. I want to make sure I'm saying this name correctly. The Abbasid Caliph, Al-Nasir al-Din Allah. So, one of the last few Abbasid Caliphs. Now, this is not part of the Abbasid Caliphate. It's minted under the great Khan, drumroll, Genghis Khan. So, why is Genghis Khan minting coinage in Arabic? This is still part of the Islamic world. Islamicate was a term that Hodgson created to try and help bridge that gap between, this place is Muslim or has Islamic influence, but is not necessarily Muslim. But also to recognize that Islam in one area is not the same as Islam in the other. Right? Islam in, say, Mecca is not the same as in Tehran. In Fez, it's not going to be the same as in Cairo. In Istanbul, it's not going to be the same as in Khorasan. I, for one, lived in Xinjiang in China, which is a predominantly Islamic region with the Hui and the Uyghur people, as well as the Kazakhs and a number of other groups. It is obviously part of the Islamic world. That's not to necessarily call it Muslim. So if you want some other good examples of this, you can look at things like, the coinage of Muscat and Oman. They are obviously Muslim. They write in Arabic. They use Arabic in their coinage. Don't know how well you can see that. Yeah, they use Arabic in their coinage. But a Muslim in Zanzibar is going to be very different than a Muslim in other parts of the world. There's going to be differences. So Islamicate was a term created to help bridge that gap. Now, Persianate is another prime example of this. Don't worry, I'm going to show you some more examples. So, we get Persian coins. So we have, this sort of thing, Safavid from Hussein II. Wait, let me check. Make sure I have my stat. Sorry, Hussein the First. Nice little Safavid coin there. Silver. Everybody loves silver. Don't drop the coin. That's Persian. Nobody's going to doubt that. We have, Qajar coinage. Again, very nice. Very big. It's a heavy one, too. Again, nice Persian inscription there. Right, this is Persian. It's Iranian. But then you get other stuff like this. All right, you have nice little silver coins like this, which are in Persian. Persian on both sides. Again, don't know how well you can see that. Maybe you can see it really well, maybe you can't. That's okay. But this is not from Iran. This is actually from Georgia. This is from the Chalketian Kingdom under Irakli II, so 1800s. But it's in Persian. Why? Because you have Persianate. Persianate, similar to Islamicate, it's to describe a place that has Persian influence, but is not necessarily Persian. So you look at Central Asia. You look at India, under the Mughals, and some of these other dynasties that came through here. The Delhi Sultanate, good example. They do their coinage in Arabic and Persian. Nice one like this. Sorry, I need to redo a few of these because they've gotten a little bit beaten up in their packages. Yeah, so they're examples where Persian influence has had or I should say Iran or Persia has had an influence, but they are not necessarily Persian. So they might use the Persian language. There might be certain cultural things. If you look at some blue-tiled buildings in Isfahan and other areas of what's now Iran, it's going to be very, very similar at times to some of the stuff you're going to see in India and Central Asia, and even in China. This is because obviously Persian influence has worked on those regions and has affected them. So there you have it. You have Islamicate and Persianate. Now these two terms are still somewhat debated because the discussion is how much can they be applied. But it's worth noting, and I think it's important for us to remember that cultures can change and cultures can influence each other, and we're not all going to be one culture. I mean, I myself am Canadian. Wait, where's it? There we go. Always got to have that Canadian flag. I am Canadian, but I have traveled around the world, and I have been influenced by many of these cultures. This is modern society and a globalized world. So there you go. Hope you guys learned a little bit. I saw some cool coins. I hope you're able to use some of these terms and apply what I'm teaching you. And got questions? Ask them. Don't be afraid to ask questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Well, I mean, that's what I used to tell my teachers, but they didn't always believe me. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. See you around. Bye-bye.